Imagine waking up in total darkness, unable to move, with the weight of Earth pressing down on you. That's exactly what happened to her. She opened her eyes, but all she could see was dirt and feel cold, suffocating air. Panic rushed in as she realized she was buried alive. Her heart pounded fast, and she tried to scream, but only muffled sounds came out. The silence around her was deafening. At first, she thought it was a nightmare. But then reality hit hard. This was no dream. She was trapped inside a coffin underground, with only moments to find a way out. The darkness was thick, and the air was running out quickly. Every second felt like an eternity. She remembered the last thing she saw before this nightmare: a blurry face and a cruel smile. Fear gripped her soul, but somewhere deep inside, a small spark of hope kept her fighting. The terrifying moment was just the beginning of a horror story that would haunt her forever. What would she do next? How long could she survive? The answers were buried deep beneath the surface, waiting to be uncovered. The question haunted everyone. How did she end up buried alive? It wasn't an accident or a tragic mistake. Something dark and planned was behind it. She had been living an ordinary life until that day, when everything changed suddenly. On that fateful evening, she was walking home after visiting a friend. The streets were quiet, and she felt something was off. Suddenly, a shadow appeared, and before she could react, strong hands grabbed her. She struggled, but they were too many and too strong. She was blindfolded and dragged into a vehicle. No one heard her cries for help. Hours later, she found herself buried underground, trapped inside a coffin. The kidnappers wanted to erase her from the world, but why? What secret did she hold that made someone want to do this? The police had no leads, and the village was full of whispers and fear. Her family and friends waited anxiously, not knowing if she was alive or gone forever. Meanwhile, she was fighting for her life, trapped in darkness, trying to piece together what had led her here. The truth behind her burial was twisted, and uncovering it would reveal chilling secrets about those she trusted the most. The nightmare had just begun. She was trapped underground, with only the cold earth pressing on all sides. The coffin was small, barely enough space to move. Darkness surrounded her completely. No light, no sounds except the faint echo of her own breathing. Panic began to rise as she realized the air was running thin. Every breath became a desperate struggle. Inside that cramped space, time lost meaning. Minutes felt like hours, and hours like days. She tried to calm herself, remembering to breathe slowly, to save the little air she had left. Her fingers scratched the wooden walls, searching for any weakness, any chance to escape. But the coffin was solid and unyielding. Fear mixed with determination. She screamed for help, but the dirt outside muffled her cries. The cold seeped into her bones, and exhaustion threatened to take over. Yet, she refused to give up. The will to live burned fiercely inside her, pushing her to fight even when hope seemed lost. Trapped underground, alone in darkness, she faced her worst nightmare. But this was only the beginning of a battle between life and death. A fight that would test her strength like never before. In that dark, suffocating coffin, her fight for survival began. Every second was a struggle against fear, panic, and the shrinking air around her. She forced herself to stay calm, knowing that losing control would only make things worse. Her mind raced, searching for any way to escape the nightmare. She used her hands and fingers to feel every inch of the coffin, hoping to find a weak spot. The wood was old but strong, and no cracks appeared. Then she remembered stories of people who managed to break free by using sharp objects or tools. But she had none. Her nails and fingernails were all she had to fight with. Desperation pushed her to dig into the dirt above, clawing at the earth. The soil was heavy and damp, but she kept trying, hoping someone outside might hear her muffled cries. She screamed with all her might, but only silence answered. Her body was weakening, but her spirit remained unbroken. She thought of her family, her dreams, and all the moments she still wanted to live. That thought gave her strength to keep fighting. The battle for survival was harsh, and every breath could be her last. But giving up was never an option. She clung to hope, praying for a miracle to pull her out of the dark. As the terrifying ordeal unfolded, the dark secrets behind her burial started to surface. It wasn't just a random act of cruelty. There was a hidden story tied to betrayal and revenge. People she trusted were not who they seemed to be. The village, once peaceful, held secrets darker than anyone had imagined. Whispers spread about a long-standing feud, jealousy, and greed. Someone close to her had planned this horror to silence her forever. Maybe she had discovered something they wanted hidden, a secret that could destroy reputations and lives. The truth was buried deep, just like she was. Her survival began to unravel the lies surrounding her. Every detail she remembered added a piece to the puzzle, exposing the hidden faces behind the nightmare. The people who acted innocent were now suspects in a chilling game of deceit. The revelation shook everyone, friends, family, and enemies alike. The truth was more terrifying than the darkness underground. It showed how far someone could go to keep their secrets safe, and how fragile trust could be when betrayal lurked in the shadows. The big question everyone wanted to know was, who was behind this cruel act? The answer was shocking and painful. It wasn't some stranger or random criminal, but someone very close to her. Someone she had trusted with her life. As the story came out, suspicion fell on people who seemed loyal but had hidden motives. Jealousy, greed, and old grudges were at play. This person wanted to destroy her for reasons that nobody expected. Maybe it was to cover up a secret, or to get revenge for a past mistake. Her family was torn apart by the truth. Friends were shocked to learn about the betrayal. The village, once calm, was now filled with fear and distrust. Everyone wondered how someone could plan such a cruel thing and get away with it. The identity of the person responsible was a haunting secret. It showed how darkness can hide behind familiar faces. And it reminded everyone that sometimes the biggest danger is not from outside, but from those closest to us. The truth was bitter, but it had to come out. Only then could justice begin. The truth behind her burial was more terrifying than anyone could imagine. It wasn't just a cruel act. It was a carefully planned crime rooted in hatred and betrayal. The people she trusted the most had turned against her, hiding dark secrets and lies that shook the entire village. Her survival exposed the hidden evil that had been lurking in the shadows. The very people who pretended to care had played a role in trapping her underground. The reason was a painful secret they wanted to keep buried forever, but the truth found a way to surface. Even after escaping the coffin, the nightmare didn't end. She was haunted by memories of that dark place and the betrayal that led her there. Trust was broken, and the scars ran deep, not just on her body but on her soul. The haunting truth was a warning. Sometimes the greatest danger lies within the people closest to us. And no matter how deep the secrets are buried, they have a way of coming back to haunt us. Her story became a chilling reminder that darkness can live in the most familiar places, waiting to be uncovered. Thank you for watching this chilling story of survival and betrayal. If you found this video gripping, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our community for more real life horror stories. Now, here's a question for you. What would you do if someone you trusted betrayed you in the darkest way imaginable? Could you survive the nightmare, or would fear take over? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you. And remember, the truth is often stranger and scarier than fiction. Stay tuned and don't miss our next video. The killer lived next door for 10 years no one knew. Until then, stay safe and stay curious!